Okay, so again, we're going to head back to Kitty Hawk. We looked at this earlier. This is Wright Brother National Memorial. And this is famous because this is the exact location, bless you, of the first 4 flights that were ever made by a powered aircraft. And this is the exact location. We'll go down on the ground, but these were where the first 4 flights were made. Okay. So just a couple of pictures from around the site. There's a big memorial there for the Wright brothers that they put up. And here's Mr. Nick. He's going to let us know why they selected this location.
The first flights took place in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. They were looking for a place to fly, and they wanted a place with high winds because it would be easier to launch their gliders. So they wrote to the U.S. Weather Service. The Weather Service gave them a list of the windiest places in North America, and number 6 on the list was Kitty Hawk. And the Wright brothers noticed that Kitty Hawk also had great big sand dunes. Sand has a peculiar physical property called hysteresis, and all that means is that when you hit the sand, it doesn't hit you back. It absorbs the impact. So they were able to fall from fairly high up. At one point, Wilbur crashed from 30 feet off the ground and walk away from the crash because the sand was there to catch them.
Okay, so there were 2 main reasons. Before we look at it there, Kitty Hawk was chosen because it was very windy and it was very sandy. And this makes sense now that we've learned about the forces with lift and drag and thrust. Who's ever flown a kite before? Anyone ever flown a kite? How do you get a kite off the ground when it's not windy? Is it easier to fly a kite when it's windy or not windy?
Windy.
When it's windy. Okay, when it's windy, or let me pose it another way. When it's not windy, how do you get a kite off the ground?
What do you have to do, Christina?
Run.
So using what we just learned, the forces of flight, what's that force called? If you're running, you're pushing the kite forward. Is that called lift, thrust, or drag?
What are you creating? Thrust.